Hello, welcome back to YouTube Stock Portfolio, and today we are changing things up. We are doing things completely differently, and this is becoming a totally different channel. Now, what I'm going to start doing is instead of you picking the stocks like has happened every single week, what I'm going to do is have WallStreetBets, the subreddit, pick the stocks. I've written an algorithm that runs through WallStreetBets, and we'll look at the last comments from the last week, and we'll parse out what stocks have been talked about the most and what people are most bullish on and most bearish on. So today I'm going to show you that algorithm, and we can see what people have been talking about in the past week and what we are going to end up buying. So this is what we are working with. This is the code I wrote, this is what it outputs, and this is the outcome of WallStreetBets. Now these are all of your tickers here, and then you have the count of times they are mentioned. No surprise to anybody, the Palantir is mentioned 255 times. Upscore is how many times somebody said something positive about it. For example, Palantir to the moon, Palantir up, Palantir calls, stuff like that. Calls is the amount of actual calls, times that somebody said calls on Palantir or Palantir calls, all in Palantir, and puts is the reverse of that. How many times people said Palantir puts, something like that. Second most is Apple, and then the third most is NIO, obviously. Now, I'm not entirely sure how we are going to price this, but what I think is the best method is just to take something like this and divide it by something like this. So as you can see, people were pretty bullish on Palantir, as obvious, but there was still a lot of negative press around it. About twice as much positive as there was negative, but if we look at a company like NIO over here, well, there's a ton more positive stuff than there is negative. So that is what we're going to buy. Anyway, this is not a normal video. The other videos will continue in a very similar fashion as to the ones previous, where I talk about a topic in between, give you an update on my portfolio, and that's it. This one, just wanted to show you what I'll be doing in the future to make buying decisions. I'll probably choose a cap as to how many times it has to be mentioned on the subreddit to be eligible for me to buy it, probably somewhere around 40-ish, and then I will also end up buying the one with probably the highest ratio of upscore to downscore, as long as those two numbers are pretty large as well. Anyway, check back in next week, see what stock we buy if WallStreetBets has changed their mind, and I'll keep you updated on a topic that at least I think is interesting.